Hey everybody, Sabe here, giving you an update. Looking looking pretty decent. I'm not convinced that we're done taking out the lows because we definitely like to take liquidity repeatedly. But looking on the 4-hour chart here, you are making a higher high here. After making a lower low, you do have a higher high, but it looks like this is just all a liquidity game, and you're going to be pushing back and forth until the liquidity is taken or people are too aggravated to trade. So I would watch for liquidity, which was taken here. You might double top up here at like 110 and then a flush down to take out that liquidity and maybe make it down to the 103 area. So if you did take any longs from the 105, you may get stopped out, but look for the opportunities at 103. I think that's where the real opportunity may come. And I'm just matching this pattern here in reverse with the A, B, C, D, E expanding. So it was contracting over here, and now it'll be expanding over here. And it certainly doesn't have to get that low. It could, pause at 104 or something like that. Just taking out these lows and these lows where it built liquidity. That's the only liquidity to the downside that I see. But if that pattern does match, then watch out for a short squeeze over the weekend. Where this pattern matches here, there's your ABC right in the middle there. And this leg up to there matches that. So having this pattern repeat right here, just taking liquidity, and then watch for a slow grind up just like that happened at the top, just mimicking the pattern, see if it plays out, and then short squeeze and close a weekly candle up at around 118 to 119, and then pull back, find 115 as support, bounce back up, and then chop sideways, and continue pushing. 135, chop sideways, 145. You're going to be playing with the fives and the tens all the way up. That's the only support and resistance or psychological levels when you're in price discovery. And you'll often have orders at 120, at 125, at 130, 135. You'll see little pullbacks from there. So definitely pay attention to that, but manage your risk. If you do have non-farms payroll tomorrow, come and grab liquidity to the upside and quickly reject down here. It may look like an impulse down, but that is for liquidity. Look for the opportunity around 103, where you have previous supports that should act as support again. After making a higher high close there, this is where you would find your higher low. So telling you in advance that if we do get an opportunity like that, see it as an opportunity, don't see it as a failed breakout. It's probably an opportunity that this just grinds up and short squeezes over the weekend. We do have a long weekend. It's the prime opportunity to do this. Usually on low liquidity, you can definitely get price to break out of areas. And if we do, especially if we get a sell-off tomorrow, the CME traders will be net short. So if price closes up here, everybody that was short in this range that was not able to trade over the weekend will be closing aggressively at the opening of next week. And we'll get another repeat of what happened in November, where price just continued to push up and push up and push up. So that's the pattern I'm matching, and the target for that should be 147, 144,000 to 147 with stops along the way. Watch for a rejection. I'd be very concerned if this range right here is broken to the upside and then it reverses and closes back inside this consolidation. If that happens, that's bad news. That means this was distribution, that was your upthrust after distribution, and this is going lower, probably to take out these liquidities. So let the stop loss take care of that for you, and then look for the next opportunity, which would be at the liquidity zones. So that's the pattern I'm seeing. That's what I'm kind of contemplating here. As soon as liquidity is taken above these highs, we're going to take those orders maybe up at all the way up to 111, 111.5, maybe 112K, and then come and flush down here. That's also a pattern that could happen over the weekend. But I do think that it's actually going to reverse from here, and they're going to save this liquidity for later, similar to what they did in November. But watch for potential news-driven catalyst to give you the buying opportunity down at the lows at previous support. These are the only liquidities that I can see. Underneath price right now is the lows over here that weren't swept, along with the current lows on Tuesday. So somewhere around 104, 103, even 102 on a wick, but I don't want to see daily closures down there. I'd rather have the daily remain a little stronger, so get a bounce back and close the daily back above 105. It would look really, really good to me. So just a quick update on Bitcoin, what I'm kind of looking at. Things are looking really good. Mid-cycle low is either it's already in, or it's coming soon, or it happens early next week. But manage the risk off of that low for sure. I actually don't think we come all the way down under 100K again. I don't want to see price come under 100,000. There's no reason to go down there after taking the liquidity now. First attempt didn't make it. Second attempt got that liquidity. Now you're targeting upper liquidity and or markup phase. And to round out this video, I figured I'd do something a little different and do Bitcoin dominance, since Camel Finance and I were talking about this earlier today, along with I think Kush was posting a chart saying like, well, where's this going? And somebody was saying that this is, a break of structure. Things are headed lower. Get ready for alt season. Don't see any signs of that just yet. I mean, look at the weekly here. You've got a very well-established uptrend. You need to close a weekly candle lower than that and start getting a downtrend. I mean, even if you get a sharp move down like that, you're still not in alt season. That's grabbing liquidity and it'll push up again. I don't see any reason for it to stop where it's at. Maybe some people use indicators and whatnot that tell them it's imminent, going to reverse, but I would look at this consolidation up here from 2020. You're currently back inside that consolidation, so the most likely path I would say is up to the highest 73. From 73, maybe you chop around here and repeat something like that. But I was contemplating that potentially this pattern is going to repeat up here and just drive people crazy for the next, well, I don't know, that took like a year, didn't it? From May of 2021 through August of 2022, so like a year and a half of sideways and choppiness. Imagine a box like this, just repeating higher. Let's clone that. Clone. Let's see if we can move this box up there and let it chop around and repeat that pattern like that. So you'd have liquidity there, markup into distribution, then back down and fill out the consolidation spaces. Have consolidation here, you probably end up having consolidation somewhere in the middle eventually. But right now, uptrend, strong chart, still showing strength. Bitcoin is still the king until you start, making a blow off top and reverse sharply or start a downtrend. But your downtrend may start with a similar accumulation pattern here and have a distribution pattern up there, and you're in a markup channel. I was contemplating that this leg right here matched with this coming down, and now you are repeating this. You're like right in this zone to be repeating that leg up. So let Bitcoin do its thing. Let this thing complete its move, and once Bitcoin is back up at its quote-unquote resistance, then maybe you'll have something different happen. But you don't have a downtrend starting. Everything is still in a strong uptrend. Expectation would be to continue pushing up like it did here, like it did here. Like this is the zone that it'll play around in most likely. And then after the consolidation happens up in here, our distribution pattern, then maybe you'll repeat that leg. Come down here, take all that liquidity. That's the way I would trade it if it was an actual chart, and not just a dominance chart, but that's kind of the way that charts end up moving. Somewhere around 45% would make sense, or maybe it breaks the low. And this ends up being some kind of ABC pattern. Then you repeat that during a bear market. We'll see. I feel bad for people that keep looking at this chart and looking for any signs of a breakdown, and they're like mistaken repeatedly. And that's certainly not to throw shade on anybody and to say alt season never happens. I'm not a big proponent of the alt season. I do just fine without it, but a chart is a chart, and if you are going to trade this chart, you're still in a weekly uptrend. This chart is to be traded to the upside until it's not. I think this breakdown right here, you had a chance to put in a lower high right there because you did have a lower low close, but price closed a higher high. So continuation of trend, and this was just a liquidity grab and push back up. So that's kind of the way I'm seeing this. Elliott wave may call this 1, 2, there's your 3, this is 4. Working on a wave 5 up to like 73%. Wonder if Fibonacci would say the same thing. Fibonacci extension of wave 1 plus 3 projected from 4. No, that gives you a 618 target that would have been already hit. So yeah, maybe look for a reaction there for a wave 5, but I'd look at the 1-to-1. Let's check linear scale. And linear scale, you've already passed the 618, so you should target the 1-to-1 most likely, and most likely the 1272. Why wouldn't it get back up to those previous peaks? Just let this thing grind up. Looks like a very nice S-curve pattern. It looks like it wants to get the highs. But this chart is also a sidebar to any chart that you are trading. Previous mentors of mine have told me, trade the chart that's in front of you. Other assets that may seem to correlate, those correlations do break down. So maybe this Bitcoin dominance continues up, but whatever project that you are trading ends up outperforming. Totally possible. But overall, this doesn't speak to downtrend for me just yet. Wait for a lower low close and then lower high. Shoot your shot. Till then, expect higher. Just like the Bitcoin chart, steady weekly. That's a weekly uptrend. Weekly making higher highs, higher lows, and it appears as though it just put in its higher low here, which is where you would look for it from that low. You were that much higher, so expect the trend to be strong. That would be your higher low, and expect the higher high to come in somewhere around 144. We will see if we get it. If not, this is going to repeat this leg down here, and there's your ABC, which I can very much see that happening. That's what the stop loss is for. Just to draw it out, what I was looking at is repeating that with that. And then this would be the move that repeats thereafter. So yeah, certainly can turn around and be very bearish and then grind into the next daily cycle low there, or pop the highs and then reverse into the next daily cycle low. But trade the chart in front of you, trade what you got, and keep your stop loss where it needs to be. Right now, you definitely don't want to see price get back under 100,000. I mean, realistically, you want the chart to remain as strong as possible to maintain the uptrend. But if price starts closing daily candles below 100, I definitely wouldn't like that. I would not be as bullish. I'd like to the dailies to actually remain above 105 to maintain the uptrend. So until you start seeing daily candles closing below 100, expect more upside. But you start closing daily candles below that, then watch out for that big leg down. But till then, I'm still expecting up. So that's the show for today. Have a good night and keep them stops tight.